That is
All
right,
right,
absolutely.
we're
Same
going.
for me. But here we go. We're going in for the next map. Game number 3 in our SCVReady.com Cash Cup number 1 here. Oh no, this is actually game number 2. I'm sorry, really, excuse myself. So, we're spawning on the map Xel'Naga Caverns with cHobo as the Protoss player versus Fabgotho, and cHobo is spawning as the red Protoss here on the bottom left position, while Fabgotho, his opponent, is spawning as the blue Terran on the top right position.
Yep. So again, very gonna see what type of builds both players decide to go here. Fabgotho and cHobo. As far as the Stalker strategy that I talked about last time, definitely, again, it could be a very effective strategy on this map. You see right here, definitely very vulnerable to something like that. Expansions on this map, definitely something you can expect to see as well early on, and I would not be surprised if we have perhaps both players going for an early expansion, but we will see. As, I don't know if this is a misclick by Fabgotho, but okay, no, yeah, he's sending us SCV right there, taking an early supply depot up. In the bottom of his base. No scouting going on just yet from either player currently. Maybe they feel confident that they know what the opposing team is going, or opposing player is going to do, I should say, very early on right now. We do see Fabgotho, you know, kind of giving himself vision, and perhaps why he's placed a supply depot down here. Doesn't want to be vulnerable to those proxies and be vulnerable to an early cannon cheese style rush, or you know, getting the piling up and then spawning units in there eventually with the warp gate. So he's giving himself vision all around his base. That is one disadvantage of this map, is that your base platform is very, very huge and is very susceptible to those style of rushes. But again, that's why Fabgotho is getting his vision. But now we finally see the first scout going out from cHobo, and he's going to send it into Fabgotho's base and see this barracks currently go. And a refinery.
That is right, and I really love that supply placement. You don't need to wall off, especially not against many races. I mean, against Zerg, yes, of course, but this supply depot just will prevent any probe here hiding down there, getting some late scouting info. Right now we see the first scout here coming in from cHobo, poking here a little bit those SCVs, the good old probe versus SCV fight, as you could expect of any PvT matchup right here. But we see the first Marine is spawning, is being in production, and will just throw off this probe. And just checking if Fabgotho any scouting, no scouting so far. He has no idea what the Protoss player is going for, but I assume he is expecting the standard opening, just getting the gateway, grabbing a gas, getting cybernetics core, exactly what is going on at the moment.
Yeah, I was going to say, and thankfully he is getting that because, like I said, he is not scouting. But here comes the first SCV, so he will get an idea right now. And no units being pumped out currently for cHobo, so he will not be able to effectively scare off this SCV, and he'll definitely be able to stick around for a little bit. But, yeah, the early refinery, though, from Fabgotho, obviously a little bit different than last time. In fact, very different from last time, as you already see him getting off the tech lab, and he's already getting those Marauders out, already learning concussive shells, so he's getting ready for a much more gas-heavy style build. In fact, in the second refinery already going after Fabgotho, so definitely a very different army expected here from Fabgotho. Do not expect the mass marines like last time. You see the probe trying to come in. He spots the Marauder, though, so now he knows that's possibly what he's going to be going for with only one marine currently out, and that'll give an idea of what cHobo needs to do to kind of react to that. He does have one Stalker currently coming out right now. Like you said, Zealot's not too useful against those Reapers because of those concussive shells, unless you get the sprint style ability, but he is going to be getting a Stalker and now a Sentry coming out for cHobo, and also the second Gateway coming up, so I am curious to see what he eventually goes into. I think Immortals would not be a bad choice right here. Here goes the Robotics Facility, the second assembler already up, and yeah, I do not expect him to go Colossi this time right off the bat. Like I said, I would expect Immortals, if anything, but he is going to need to get a little bit more vision in terms of what Fabgotho eventually does do, because see Immortals, and if a Fabgotho eventually all of a sudden goes like Mass Air or something like that, could definitely screw you over, but don't usually expect that though from Terran.
Yes, especially when you see there are 3 barracks now on the field. I wouldn't expect lots of airplay here by Fabgotho. He's trying to peek in with an SCV, get some intel, but he did not see the robo facility. Let me double this. No, he did not. He has no idea what he's going for. Could be anything, but he's going for a 3-get and a robo build. But here's the Reaper, so he does know now of the robo facility, so he's aware of some Immortals or Colossi play right off here. And one thing to notice, I already love here, the Sentry play. Stalker and a fast Sentry, in case you tech up for anything, we're not real, sorry, tech up for anything and you need to buy time against an early kind of Marauder push. You need Sentries to block off your ramp, getting some nice force fields, delaying a bit, or splicing up those armies if in case they advance.
Finally, an observer coming out for cHobo. He didn't do it last game, but he is doing it this game now with that robotics facility up. So he's been having so much trouble getting intel on Fabgotho because Fabgotho, of course, put that army right at the entrance. He only knows that there's one barracks up, and he has no clue whatsoever what type of more build Fabgotho is going for. He does have his factory already finished and a reactor going onto it. Starport coming out as well. So perhaps, curious to see what he builds out of that. Starport is going up, though, about halfway finished. But here comes the Observer, so now cHobo will finally be able to get a little bit more of an idea of what to expect. But here comes the first Immortal right now from cHobo. Unfortunately, he is supply blocked. We've all been through that, and now he's probably yelling at himself, God, what am I thinking? I need to hate pylons. Finally, the pylon finishes spawning, though, and here comes the Immortal coming out. Will he boost it with his Chronos boost? He does have 56 energy. In fact, nope, not boosting that, but boost something else. I'm guessing his Warp Gate, maybe. Anyways. No, his probes actually. He's getting some more probes up. But yeah, here we go with cHobo. Now he's spotting what Fabgotho is doing, seeing a couple of medevacs coming out perhaps with that reactor on it. And now a factory being sent out from Fabgotho right here to perhaps get some scouting going on. But of course the Observer is going to follow it just in case if he plans something fishy right here. But yeah, so the army is building up now from Fabgotho, and neither player, though, looking to play too aggressive right now. Both players are fine with just sitting back and building up. No expansions, though, early on. That is a one thing that is kind of throwing me off a little bit, but, to each his own.
Yes, both players seem to setting up their army composition as they like, and looks like cHobo this just transition into Templar Archive right now. It did throw off this Robo, maybe setting up here the mindset by Fabgotho, trying to tell him, hey, I'm gonna tactical, but switching now to Templar could be a little bit too costly. Do not know if it's gonna be the Psy Storms are being researched, if it's gonna be in time, since Fabgotho is pushing out with his Marine Marauder bolts and using the factory for vision onto the high ground. If it comes down to fighting the ramp, I already love it, since he does not need this factory for any builds on his MMM bolts. And here comes the factory. He's floating over, giving some sight in the high ground. He's pushing in, and nice force field here preventing it. The army's coming in. I really love to see splitting the armies a little bit with the force field, or maybe he just wants to buy some time to shoot down the factory so he still has the high vision here alone for himself, or waiting for more Templars coming out, since just one Templar has energy for his Psystorm at this moment.
Yeah, he needs to land this, and this is where Fabgotho, I don't know if he is expecting Templars, and obviously you can see it in the army. But here we go. There's the Sonics are perfect.
Nice
right
Psystorm here.
He blocks it with the Sentry field. Here comes the army from cHobo, excuse me. He is taking him out using that Guardian Shield from the Sentry as well, trying to fight him off. He needs to get those medevacs killed. There we go. And the army of cHobo will win this, no doubt. He's blinking in more Stalkers right here from his Warp Gates. And now he's going to make a counter push, no doubt. He has the bigger army by far. He turns the two Templars right there into an Archon. This factory might be dropping, but expect a counterattack right now from cHobo. And that was a perfect placement by the Templar, or excuse me, by the Sonic Storm, and catching him with the Sentry as well. And this could be looking very, very bad news for Fabgotho.
Exactly, that was absolutely beautiful play here by cHobo. I'm highly impressed, and he's moving out now, and at the same time even expanding, so he's clearly taking here the lead, and he's pulling back. I don't know why. I think he could easily take this expansion by Fabgotho. Maybe it's too risky. He wants to defend this expansion. He's just pulling back completely. I really expected him push out right now, especially after this nice play here at his ramp, demolishing the complete Terran ball. So he's giving Fabgotho actually time to set up some defenses.
Very shocked at that. I don't know why. I mean, you basically took out his army. Obviously, it's getting bigger and bigger now, and if you counterattacked, this army would be half its size, and he would have been able to overrun that expansion at least, and then eventually run into the base. And that expansion is huge, though, because he didn't counter push. The expansion will be successfully placed up by Fabgotho. He'll be able to start getting resources out of that. Now throwing out the scan, knowing what he's going up against, he sees that expansion going up as well for cHobo, and this game is definitely going to last a lot longer than we just both expected, because I definitely expected cHobo to counter, like I said, and try to end this one right there, but he has not. Now he's going to build up his army once again, and we'll most likely have another build-up of armies for both sides, and eventually go in all-out battle once again.
That is right, but maybe we're just too bad for this game. cHobo just trying to secure his lead. He's definitely in the lead. Just look at the units resources tab, so he's definitely in the favor here at this point. He also has his expansion early up, and he's in the lead by Harvester, so not gonna go any risky move, just trying to win it easily, not overcommitting himself. Maybe that's what his plan is all about, and he can do so. If you're in the lead, you don't need to take any risk at all. I think Maybe if he just yell at it, why is he not counterattacking? Comes down to we have all the intel he doesn't know, and nice play, I have to say, I really have to admit, if I think twice over it.
Well, gold expansion going up for Chobo right now, so he'll be able to take advantage of that. Obviously, these gold expansions aren't the easiest to defend, though, so he's going to have to worry about that. Nice Sonic Storm once again, a couple of them placed right there. Perfect placement, and now Fabgotho has to fall back. You see him leading the way with the Archon is Chobo, and his army is incoming. So Fabgotho's army is very weakened after that Sonic Storm, but again, Chobo is falling back. Why would you fall back? You have every advantage right now, but he's playing it so passive. I mean, you look at he has a 10 Harvester advantage as far as his army is concerned, 118 food count to 90. You know, that's nearly a 30 food count higher, obviously. I mean, he has every advantage, but he's not taking it right now. He's playing very cautious, and I'm not necessarily going to sit back and say that's going to cost him the game, but it's leaving Fabgotho in the game, and now you actually see him with a Ghost Academy. He's researching Mobius Reactor. And yeah, I just don't know what to think of Chobo right here. He's gonna finally come in right here, maybe look to play a little bit more aggressive. He's getting a pylon up next to the Xel'Naga Tower, giving himself vision and a good spawn point, but a nice scan right there. I don't know how much he spotted, but yeah,
Oh, nice snipe here coming by the Ghost. Oh man, did you see that? The Ghost was sniping the High Templar at the same time. There was a feedback going on this Ghost, really trying to get a double kill here. So it comes down to a little bit micro here. Those Ghosts, if they can EMP all the energy on the High Templars, and again trying to feedback them or getting some storms here. And here comes the big engagement. Once more, there are some High Templars. They have to storm right now. If there's some energy, I don't even know. Big engagement here, still doing a lot of damage.
Yeah, he didn't even need the Sonic Storms right there. Again, his army's just so overwhelmed.
And there it goes! One beautiful storm!
Coming out. There's
another one.
Yeah, Chobo should eventually win this now. Again, he could have done this earlier, but he didn't want to play it safe. He wanted to make sure he was going to come through the victory here. And I would not be surprised to see a GG come out fairly soon from Fabgotho. So he's calling out the next map already, Steps of War. So that was, as I like to call it, Steeps of War. But that's going to do it for Game 2, so we're all tied up at 1 game apiece here in this best out of 5 series between Chobo and Fabgotho, and definitely making for some excitement here. Looking forward to it.